Okay, so just checking up on our grid now as they're forming up. Now I apologise to those people who are watching online. For the rain on the window here, it's very hard to see through the screen, but that's the best we can do. On pole, it is Matty Whitaker in the 991 Porsche, and he's just waiting for second place to form up there. And I've now got a grid appeared up on my screen, so I can give you that right now. That will be the second place on the grid will be showing car number 6. Okay, that's Tom Stokes, and the Toyota 86 is going to start on the front row, which I find quite amazing, but there we go. Cal McBeath did very well to qualify in 3rd position. No, I didn't think it was. It is going to be Ian Hare in the Porsche on the 3rd row. Sorry, on the 2nd position, it will be Andrew Nugent in the Burrows seating. BMW M3 GTR will start out of 3. Then we go back to the Porsche, the little Toyota of Chris Henderson out of the South Island, and then it's Tim James in his 997 GT3. Then it is the Deveth Smith Holden Super Tourer. Then we go back to Rick Cooper in the Ford Mustang. Alongside him, it is Dean Perkins in the XD Ford Falcon with the NASCAR motor under the bonnet. Then we go back to another one of the Commodores, and that looks like it's going to be Blair McDonald, and alongside him it's Alistair Taylor in another one of the Porsches. A little bit further back from them, it's car number 36. That will be the Subaru of Nick Archibald, and alongside him will be car number 17, Jack Milligan in the Toyota 86. Now the distinctive noises of the flat 6 Porsches as they head off the line, heading down towards turn 1. And so as they come through a little bit further back, it's Graham Fraser there in the little BMW just in front of Tom Stokes, and another one of the 86s. Then it is Paul Wright and Shane Parsons in the Honda CRX. And right down the back of the field here is a little BMW E30, car number 56. That's David O'Connor from Towering on the BMW E30. Just in front of the Jeff Wong, Robert Berger and Ferrari 430 Challenge. Now they'll go around, this will be a rolling start. Following the Dale ITM Porsche safety car. Right, as they head down the straightaway now towards us, the safety car pulls away. Although no, they're going to do another lap behind the safety car. The lights are still going. So usually in wet conditions they do an extra familiarisation lap. Okay, so now this is the formation lap. The safety car lights will go out as he comes down the straightaway towards turn 13 into the chase, and or the carousel I think they're now calling it, and it will be they will be underway on a 1 hour race. The pit window opens within 10 minutes and it closes at the 50-minute mark. So starting up in the front row, it's Matt Whitaker within here, alongside him, riding behind him, Andrew Nugent and Chris Henderson. Then we go back to Tim James, John DeVeth. That's where the action's going to happen in the start. So the lights are out on the safety car, and it is now in the hands of Matt Whitaker as they head down into the carousel. And they'll be underway for 1 hour. Here we go, folks. The first race of the ENEOS New Zealand North Island Endurance Championship for 2017 is about to get underway. And the lights are out and they are go, and it's off the line, and it is Matt Whitaker already into the lead, but Ian Hare's putting the pressure on him down into turn 1. And a big spray as they go down there. Everybody heads down under brakes now. They're well spread out. They're all taking it very gingerly into that corner. They were told in driver's briefing that the kit take it easy and respect each other. And up through the turn 2 they go. Matt Whitaker already stamping his authority on this. Look at that 991 just gapped the GT3 behind him. Rick Cooper, the fantastic start from Rick Cooper. Oh no, sorry, it's not. It is Andrew Nugent in the Burrows seating BMW. He's up into 3rd place. That's where he started. Then we go back to Chris Henderson, the South Island visitor, in his Toyota AE86. Then it's Tim James with Rick Cooper in behind him. John DeVeth is the next man up. And where's I'm looking for Dean Perkins. Where is the big Falcon? The Falcon's, he's dropping down through the field like a stone. There's just no way he can get the traction in that big Ford Falcon. You can see him now just going down into turn 7. Right in there, he's right in behind the little BMW, the Mortimer Racing BMW with Matty Griffin behind the wheel. Up they go now, virtually out of our sight, into the rain and the doom and the gloom of here at Taupo. This was supposed to have cleared, and we've already got a spinner. That's Jeff Wong in the Ferrari 430 Ferrari here and he would now be the last man running on the track as he spins coming out of turn 7. Meanwhile, Matt Whitaker through the carousel has got an absolute country mile of a lead as the big Porsche thunders across the line to complete the first lap of 1 hour. Next man through will be in here. Here he's come through 2nd, and that's a big gap after 1 lap. He's the next man through, but I tell you what, it's pretty tight and close. But though for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th there, with Andrew Nugent keeping the BMW, the Porsche of Hare, very honest, and then right in behind him, that amazing little Toyota AE86 Levin. It's right on the back door bumper of that BMW. Then we go back to Tim James and the Porsche. Rick Cooper doing a great job there in his Ford Mustang. And then we look a little bit further back and I can see John DeVeth gets the tail so out of shape in the big Holden Commodore as he goes through turn 2. That rain's really driving down now, and I can't see virtually anything out of the window here at Taupo Motorsport. Sorry, Bruce McLaren Motorsport. I can see Dean Perkins though wagging the tail of the big XD Ford Falcon as he goes up into turn 4, and that's Dino's style. He's having a great scrap there with Barry Kirkman in the 302 Ford Mustang. Little BMW comes across the line in second to last place as we've lost. Actually, Jeff Wong has pulled the Ferrari in off the track, and he's going to come into pit lane. This is going to be an unscheduled stop because the pit window hasn't opened yet. Now I know he'll be wanting to jump out of the car and throw the keys to Rob Bergeron, but not to be. And already we've got Matt Whitaker putting a lap on a back marker. And who's this? This would be the big. This is one of the Ford Falcons coming across the start-finish stripe there. That's car number 351. That's Bruce Kett. He will, and that's the car we call the Shed. It's actually a Ford Falcon, but it's got a Chevy engine under the bonnet. An LS6. So in good Kiwi fashion, we've called that car the Shed. So back to our front runner, and that's Matt Whitaker. Look at the gap he's opened up here. Here's our second place man now, coming through turn 2 with third and fourth riding behind him as our first place man goes through turn 7. I mean, that's an amazing lead within 2 laps. I'm just having a call in my ear that there's a caution at turn 4. Can't actually see what's causing that. So let's give you some lap times to tell you just sort of how fast or slow they're going. Considering Matt Whitaker was in the 33s in qualifying, he's out there doing 39s at the moment, so that tells you how much slower he is. But to give you an idea how much faster he is than Ian Hare in second place, Ian's on a 47.826 with Andrew Nugent riding behind him on a 47.520. So these guys are very close together. Chris Henderson on a 48.59 and Tim James on a 49.2. That group is really tight, and the second place so we're just having a bit of a reposition of cameras here at the moment to try and get away from this rain on the windows.
Yeah, that's a better shot.
Right. So current running order in the race at the moment is Matt Whitaker with a lead of some 28 seconds over Ian Hare after only four laps. So that's sorry, 3 laps. So 4 laps as he comes across the line. So that's pretty impressive. But then there's a very close fight scrap going on here between, and oh, it looks like, hang on a minute, we've got a change of place. We're Andrew Nugent up into first position from, I'm just trying to pick up Ian Hare. Where is he? He must have had, I think he's had an off. Yep, here he comes now. He's dropped well down the field. So he must have had a spin somewhere out on track, because our second place man now is Andrew Nugent in the BMW M3 GTR with Chris Henderson in that amazing little toy. Look at that little thing behind him. It's just an absolute rocket ship. And I don't think Andrew's ever seen a Toyota that quick, stay with him that fast. But then there's a little bit of a gap back then to Tim James in the other 997 GT3. And then Rick Cooper is a little way, and Rick Cooper's really doing well there with that Mustang. That can't be easy to drive that car in these conditions. And he's right up there with those, not right with them, but he's very close to those Porsches at the pointy end. Keep an eye here on Matt Griffin, and just trying to pick up where he is in the field at this point in time. And Matt Griffin currently running 19th position, so just learning the car, dialing it in, and he's driving the Pacific Resorts car. Great shame. Noticed Richard G didn't start the race, which is a great shame. I'd love to have seen Richard out there. And it's Rob Bergeron and Jeff Wong are the last car running on the road at the moment, just behind Bruce Kett in the 351 Falcon, and then Dave O'Connor in the little BMW E30 in 29th position at this point in time. So that battle is still going on there between Andrew Nugent and Chris Henderson. Great little scrap between those two, and that will be worth keeping an eye on throughout this race. Here comes Dean Perkins in the big Ford Falcon across the start-finish line now, and Dean's running in 9th position, so he dropped down the field a bit at the beginning, and he's just thundered his way back through the field now. And we've got somebody running through the grass down here and through the gravel trap, and we're going to hopefully rejoin quite safely. And who's that? That's one of the little Toyota 86s. That was car number 22. And I've just had it through my headset that the pit window is open. So now we'll start seeing strategy come into play now, between especially between that bunch in 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. It doesn't matter what Matt Whitaker's going to do. All he's got to do is just keep driving that Porsche around at the rate he's driving it, and he's probably going to, he'll probably lap the entire field in the 1 hour race. He's going that quick at the moment. He is currently circulating, although tell a lie, he's actually backed off in the last few laps. He's backed it right off. He's come back down into the 47s. So he's still circulating just on a second lap faster than Andrew Nugent and Chris Henderson in 2nd and 3rd position. Whoa, we got a big spinner on the front straight here, right in front of us. That is, who's that? It's Tim James, car number 27, our 3rd place man. And he's got the car turned right around on the start-finish line, and he's up against the barrier. He's got it going again. And luckily, he didn't touch anything. But I think there could be a pit stop there to change his underwear after that one, because that would have given him a big fright coming out of that corner to spin down the front straight like that and end up, and if you look at the sign there, the WC security sign, you can see 2 big dirt marks off there where he's fired up the rear wheels and just, and we got 2 more, we've got 2 coming off at the end of the front straight here, the back straight, and that's, I can see that is Charles Rollo in the OCL Telecommunications Toyota. He's gone off, and it was one of the Porsches as well. Couldn't pick the number up from here. It was one of the white ones. It's just come past us near. It's car number 88. That's Alistair Taylor. So Taylor and Rollo had a little bit of a moment together as they came down that long straightaway and have ended up in the up the escape road. Now, Charles Rollo drove back up the escape road to join the track, and that is a bit of a no-no. So I'm not sure how that will be reviewed and race control. And I can report that the weather is starting to ease a little bit here now. I can actually see the hills on the other side of Lake Taupo. Was picked that the weather would clear this afternoon, so we're certainly praying for the 3 hour that it's going to clear. Mind you, this time last year we couldn't even see the racetrack. The fog was that thick down here, so we're doing quite well today. Jeff Wong there having a little bit of a problem. He's I think he's definitely given himself a fright in that Ferrari, and he's driving right off the racing line, trying to get out of everybody's way, but he's driving very, very slowly. So I think he'll get that around as quick as he can back to the compulsory pit windows open now, and he'll hopefully get it back to the pits and Rob Berger on take over. Now a bit of a dry line starting to appear in different cut places on the track, so this is the time when you're going to start watching people like Dean Perkins, who's currently, his last lap was his fastest lap with a 51.33. So he's, as you can see, he's still about 5 seconds a lap off of the lead Porsches. But when things start drying out, then that could change quite dramatically. Okay, here we've got to go. Oh, look at this. We've got a dice for position here. This is Chris Henderson and he put the pass on too. Brilliant driving there by Chris Henderson in the little Toyota AE86. He's just got past so he's got past Andrew Nugent in the Burrows seating BMW M3. And I tell you what, I think Andrew's just thrown in the towel there. He's not even attempting to fight back. And already Chris has just opened up a gap on him. So just looking at the lap times, I can't see that no, Andrew hasn't dropped any lap time at all, so I think Chris has just fired it up and just bit the bullet and gone for it. So there we are. We've had a change of position at the top now. We've had 3 people in second position on the track now. It started off, it was Ian Hare was at the start of the race, held down second position, then he lost it somewhere up the top of the track, which we missed that action, and it was Andrew Nugent took over in the Burrows seating BMW, and now Chris Henderson from the South Island in that fantastic little Toyota has taken. And we got another look, and it's Jeff Wong gone around again. The Ferrari 430 Challenge has lost it at turn 5, and that could cause a bit of a problem. He looks like he could be stuck. And if he's curbed it up there, that's going to bring out a safety car. So they've thrown a yellow out at turn 5, so they're obviously waiting. He's having trouble getting it started, I think. Meanwhile, we're looking at a bit of a scrap going on here between Matt Whitaker and Ian Hare. And Matt Whitaker's about to try and put a lap on Ian Hare. Ian Hare's having none of that. He's not going to let him pass if he can help it. But unfortunately, 991's just got too much squirt in a straight line and just blasts past Hare. Meanwhile, Jeff Wong's really actually sort of getting himself more stuck as he goes at turn 5. And he's just trying to get out of that hole there. Doesn't appear to be moving anywhere though. Oh, no, if he sits there much longer, they're going to throw a safety car on this one. And the moment that safety car comes out, you watch them dive for the pits. They'll be coming in there like there's no tomorrow. Oh, we got another one gone round at turn 7. Who's that? I'm looking from here. It looks like it is. It's John DeVeth in the. Well, that Ferrari is still stuck in the mud up there at turn 5. No, actually, I'll take it back. That wasn't John DeVeth. I can't pick out who that other one was. Bear in mind, folks, I am having trouble seeing through these windows up here where there's that much rain on them. And the Ferrari still sits there. I haven't heard anything in my ear yet about safety car, but we have had a pit stop here for. Okay, we just had call safety car is on standby. And we've got somebody coming out of pit lane now. That looks like it could be Bruce Kett in the Falcon. It is. Bruce Kett's done his pit stop. He's probably going to regret that because the safety car I'm picking is going to be out any time soon. Oh, hang on. It looks like Jeff Wong's got it moving. Only just. Okay, so there we go. Jeff Wong got the Ferrari going again, and he'll get that back to the pit lane, I would say, and hand over to Rob Bergeron. Meanwhile, leader is still Matt Whitaker with a distance now of just on a lap, I think. Just wait for the times to come through as our second place cars come through here. There's already a gap of just on 3 seconds between Chris Henderson and Andrew Nugent. So Blair McDonald comes across the line in 11th position in his Super Tourer. Okay, so the gap now between Chris Henderson and, or Matt Whitaker and Chris Henderson is just on 39 seconds. There's a 39-second gap between first and second place. That's effectively an entire pit stop. So we just have to wait and see what... although I've got to say they're going to be getting out of the cars and running around on wet concrete, so... So I'm currently trying to pick up where the fights with all the little Toyota 86s are. And the first one of those I think I can pick up is, looks like it's sitting in a position around about it's actually Ben McDonald in the little number 35 car, the McDonald Halligan Motors sponsored car. I think he's the first of the Toyota 86s at the moment. And one of those just made a pit stop now. I'm just trying to pick up who that was coming in the pit lane. Our lead car across the start-finish stripe one more time, Matt Whitaker. We're now 37 minutes and 45 seconds, sorry, 22 minutes into the race with 37 left to go. Yeah, I take it back. Our first Toyota 86 is Jack Milligan. Actually, no, sorry, he's been passed by Blair McDonald. So Blair McDonald is the first of the, Jack Milligan is the first of the Toyota 86s. And he's doing a great job, actually. He's up in front of some very quick cars. Let's pick it up. So who's sitting in front of? He's sitting in front of Alistair Taylor in one of the Porsches, Charles Rollo in the Toyota 86, Tom Stokes, another Charles Rollo in the turbocharged Toyota Levin. And Darrell Clark in one of the Seat Leones, so he's doing a great job there. And once again, the rain's starting to come down harder again, which making life a tad difficult for us up here. We can't actually see much because the rain is that heavy on the window. Good fight going on here on the front straight between the Super Tourer of John DeVeth and Glenn Smith and the little WRX of Nick Archibald. And these guys, this is for territory. These guys. Oh, John DeVeth! They've turned the big Commodore around just as I said. The Subaru was about to. They were fighting for territory. And all of a sudden, the back end of that big Commodore just snapped sideways, and Archibald was through like a flash. Thank you very much. I'm gone. So so that fight that was starting to shape up has certainly gone the way of the Holden Commodore at this point in time. So whilst I peer into the gloom, I'm trying to find other fights out there. Just looking at looking at the on track at the moment, Tom Stokes is leading the Toyota 86 battle, and he's just in front of Matt Griffin in the BMW M3 GTR, and then you got Ben McDonald right in behind him in the other Toyota 86. So those little Toyota 86s are sandwiching a V8 BMW at the moment. Bear in mind, this is Matt's first drive of this car, and probably not the ideal conditions for him. A very capable young man behind the wheel of a motor car. He won the E30 BMW Challenge 2 years in a row. But there is a considerable difference in performance and handling between a BMW E30 and a full-blown race M3 GTR. Stokes goes past in the Toyota 86. There's Griffin comes past us now, and then Ben McDonald not too far behind as he just gets past on the road by Blair McDonald. And incidentally, Blair McDonald in the Super Tourist set his fastest lap that lap. So we got, okay, so what have we got? Oh, that one's filming that.
Yeah, and I can move a bit this one, so 4 and 5, and that's pretty much it. We'll have 7. This one, but we'll have 7.
Well, we can't do, yeah, well, it is what it is, I suppose.
Yeah, but you know, if you have something in a 4 and 5, then a chase, you know that
Yeah,
you're gonna be on.
yeah. The problem I've got, hang on, I'm see our lead car there of Matt Whitaker heading down into turn 7 now. He's about to round up car number 88, which is Alistair Taylor, one of the sister cars in that team. And then his next victim up the road will be Charles Rolo as they head up towards the turn 9. This is fucking... Shane Parsons and Paul Verright have just made their first change. I believe it's Shane Parsons will be in the car now. Matty Griffin comes across the line, currently still sitting down in, let's pick it up, in 22nd position at this point in time. Although he's got himself in front of Tom Stokes and Ben McDonald. So he's managed to break that out of that Toyota 86 sandwich. And I can see Tim James now looming up. So currently sitting in third position now is Rick Cooper in the Ford Mustang, and right in behind him it is Tim James, and you can see those two now. They're going through turn 7, heading down towards turn 7 now, and there's Cooper in the Mustang at the front. James and the Porsche right in behind him. A little bit further back there, you can see Gary Morrell there in his little Honda. He's down a couple of laps, obviously, and then there's Ben McDonald comes through in the McDonald Halligan Motors sponsored little Toyota 86. But let's keep an eye on that fight that's going on up there between the Mustang of Rick Cooper and the Porsche 997 GT3 of Tim James, because it's actually quite an interesting fight. It just proves how good a driver Rick Cooper is to keep a Mustang in front of a Porsche 997 GT3 in these conditions. So I can see, I'm just watching the Burrows seating car of Andrew Nugent, the BMW, and he's dropped well down the field, so he must have had a very long pit stop. He was down in 9th position, and who we had just into the pits there now was, so one of the Porsches come in. See Charles Rollo's come in, oh, with the front hanging off of the Toyota Levin, so he's hit something, and the right front guard hanging off of that. That wasn't looking very pretty at all. Dean Perkins currently up in the 13th position in the big Ford Falcon, now doing reasonably good times in the 47s. DeVeth goes past with Ian Hare right behind. Here's another on-track fight between two good mates. This is Ian Hare and John DeVeth. And they're fighting over 6th and 7th position as they go through turn 2 now, heading up towards turn 4 and 5. And that fight between James and Cooper carries on as Cooper puts a lap on Barry Kirkman. Interesting that Barry bought that Mustang because Cooper's one beat him last year in the 1 Hour Enduro Series. And then when he got it back here, he found out that Rick had another 100 horsepower under the bonnet of his one than he's got. So Barry's got some money to spend, I think. Yeah, we've got a car off up at turn 12 at this point in time. Dean Perkins moved up another position. He's got himself past Andrew Nugent, who's obviously got issues with his BMW. Oh, we've got a spinner here coming into the halfway through the carousel. Just trying to pick, I think it's car number 60, I'm not sure. Has he got himself going again? He has. Let's have a look. It is car number 60. And I'm just trying to pick up who that is on screen. That's Jeff Manx in the little Toyota 86. Had a spin there, and I'll tell you what, we've actually got sunshine out on the track at the moment, which is great news. And our lead car goes across the stripe one more time to chalk up his 22nd lap. We've got 22 minutes left to run in the race. I see the OCL car back out on track again, that one of Charles Rollo with a heavily taped up front. Matt Griffin goes across the line in front of me here in the Pacific Resorts sponsored Mortimer Racing. Car number 88 just comes out of pit lane now. Matt Griffin currently in 16th position, though, so climbing his way up the field, just in behind Rollo in the. Oh, look at this fight between James and down into turn 1. This is going to get tight down here. Oh, James puts the pass on Rick Cooper as a Porsche comes out of pit lane. That could have got really ugly. Cooper had the sense to just pull back out of it and let James have that bit of track. The problem is he's got holding the Porsche behind him will be one thing, that would have been, but he getting that Mustang back in front of the Porsche in these conditions is going to be very, very hard. There's our second place man, Chris Henderson, goes across the line, that little Toyota Corolla. Rick Cooper now been moved back to fourth. And the DeVeth Smith Commodore now up into fifth position, but has got the Graham Fraser BMW not that far behind him. You can see the little orange BMW E36 out there, and not that far behind the big Commodore. And they got, mind you, got Ian Hare in that argument as well. Now this is over position here, so Fraser's been displaced by Ian Hare. And you can see the number 80 Porsche there going through turn 9, chasing the number 23 Farmland-sponsored Holden Commodore as they head up past the club rooms. And it will be the... this is going to turn into an interesting fight in the next lap or two. We'll wait for them to come back into view again. Here they are down the long straightaway now. You see them coming down into the carousel now, and that is the there's the Holden Commodore, the Super Tourer, and there's the 997 right in behind him. As they come through the carousel, they're going to come onto the main straight any second now. They'll fire their way down the front straight. You will see the big Commodore heading down towards the turn 1 now. Right in behind him, it is going to be the Porsche, and this is for position on track. This is for 5th and 6th position. And there's your second place man going through turn 1 at the moment. So he's nigh on just about to lap them again. So up through turn 4, heading down to 5. You can see the Porsche takes a lot of ground out of the Super Tourer in that twisty part of the track. Once you get onto the big open straight, then that 7 litre under the bonnet opens up, and it's kind of blows a little 3.5 litre Porsche 6-cylinder into the weeds in a straight line. Out of turn 7 they come now, and I tell you what, Ian Hare's getting very close to the back bumper of the DeVeth Commodore as they go up through turn 9 now. And there's back marker, that's Barry Kirkman sitting just in front of them. Look at Hare, he's getting very close now, he's getting very close to the back of the DeVeth Commodore. And they go out of our sight. We're waiting to go around turn 13 to the top of the track, and they'll head back down. I'm picking the Commodore, may hold him out around that top part. Here they come back into view now, and it is still the Commodore. You'll see them coming down the end of the straight now. They're coming into the carousel. Bearing in mind this is for 5th and 6th position in the race. And you can see the distance of that Commodore opens up on the Porsche in a straight line. Onto the front straight they come now, heading down towards turn 1. There's the Farmlands Holden Commodore with the Porsche 997 in behind him. And we've only got 7.5 minutes now left before the pit lane closes, so those that haven't done it are going to need to get it done pretty soon. But look at this fight going on between this Porsche and this Commodore now, heading down towards turn 7. I tell you what, Ian Hare's close enough to have a sniff. It's not the best taking place on this track, but it can be done. And he gets, DeVeth gets out wide, Hare's up the inside, uses the power of that Porsche over the back wheels to just launch himself out of the corner. That's the one strength those Porsches have got, is they're very quick out of the corners with that engine hanging over the back wheels. And he managed to get that done on DeVeth. DeVeth was a little bit wide off that corner, and Ian Hare saw the gap and just took it. So there we go, we've got to change the position now. We're running order on the road is Matt Whitaker in the 991 Porsche, from Chris Henderson in the AE86 Toyota, from Tim James in his Porsche, who's got displaced Rick Cooper. Then we've got Ian Hare in his Porsche, who's replaced John DeVeth in the Super Tourer. We go back to Graham Fraser, who's had a quiet race in a little BMW 36 M3. He's holding down 7th place. He's been there virtually the whole race. Then we go back to and Dean Perkins now up into 8th position. So the Big Falcon starting to, there must be a bit of a dry line appearing in that Big Falcon, horsepower down to the ground, and he's just so he's taken a place away. Then we go back to Simon Ellingham in car number 33, and rounding out the top 10 is Barry Kirkman in the Mustang. So he's got himself up in the top 10. So that's a cool run. Okay, so Matty Whitaker's in the pits in the 991, the lead car. Now, bearing in mind he was just about a minute 36 seconds ahead of Chris Henderson, so basically he's got time to come in, get out the car, go have a cup of tea, and then still.
Live on the bush.
Oh, we got somebody off. Bruce Kett off at the carousel. So our second place man's just made his pit stop as well. As our looking for our lead car, come across the start finish strip. Where is he?
Beautiful shot, lad. Just watch that black wrap coming in front of Kip. Yeah, get him right. Nice. Live Henrik. No bad shot.
Okay, so just coming out of pit lane now is John DeVeth in the Farmlands sponsored. Actually, I think it's Glenn Smith behind the wheel now. I think DeVeth would have been out, was in the car earlier on. I think it's now Smith in. And we've only got a couple of minutes left to go before the pit lane closes. And I tell you what, Blair McDonald can see his opportunity there, having a crack at DeVeth, because you can at Smith and the other Commodore, as you can see them going up through turn 4 now into 5. And the two Super Tourers together with our 10th place man Barry Kirkman sitting in behind him. Looking for our lead car. Who we got here? We've got one of the little Toyota 86s is off at turn 3. Okay, Ian Hare in the pits now in his Porsche. So this is the man who was tying down 5th position. So the question is now, can Smith and DeVeth get back past him again? This was the fight that we saw earlier on that was going on. I'm looking for him as he's underway, so he should have nailed this. DeVeth can't be too far away. Where are they? So the Porsche coming out of pit lane. And I'm looking to see where the DeVeth Commodore is. I can't see it at this point in time. Where is he? He's a long way away. So wherever, here they are. They're coming down the end of the carousel now. It looks like they got Matty Whitaker in behind them as Ian Hare comes out of the pit. So that's a massive gain to Ian Hare. That's a huge gain to Ian Hare, and he was. Kel McVeith comes past us in the panels. Haven't seen Kel for a while. Let's see where he's sitting in the race. He's currently sitting down in 21st position, Kel, in the panels.
7 beautiful.
Live Dion. We're live Dion.
Okay, we've got a car right off at over at the turn 5 at the moment. That was one of the 86 Toyotas. In fact, I think that might have been our lead Toyota. Just trying to pick that up. as it comes back on track now. It is car number, I can't pick the number up from this distance, but I've got a funny feeling that was our leading Toyota 86. So in all that exchange, Dean Perkins is now up to 6th position with 1 minute left to go. I don't think Dean's made a pit stop yet. So, and he's just gone past us now. So up into 4th position. So he hasn't made his pit. He cannot have made his pit stop. So he's going to get penalised, unfortunately. You can see him now coming through. He's just rounding up on Bruce Cat as they go up through the turn 3, 4, the big red XD Ford Falcon with his tail wagging all over the place. But I think that Dean might have shot himself in the foot here. I think he's missed his compulsory pit stop window.
Live 3.
Nice chase.
Andy's 3.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so I've just had the call in my ear now that the compulsory pit stop window has closed. So if they haven't made the pit stop now, that's it. They're over and done with. And I've got a funny feeling that Dean Perkins might be caught out on that one, because he's currently sitting in 4th position, and with all due respect to him, there's no way that he's going to get that car to that position in these conditions, considering he was right down in about 14th or 15th position earlier in the race. You can see the big Falcon now coming down into the carousel. Let's keep an eye on him. And no, he's not going to make a pit stop this lap either. So he's either done it and we didn't know about it and has gained a huge amount of ground, or he's just not going to do it. So your running order on the road at the moment is Matt Whitaker, and he's got a 1 minute and 1 second gap over Chris Henderson in the little Toyota, who is around about a lap in front of Ian Hare, with Dean Perkins showing in 4th, but I think that position is going to change. Then we go back to Graham Fraser, who's climbed as well. So I don't think Graham's made a pit stop either. Then we go back to Tim James, Rick Cooper, John DeVeth, Nick Archibald, and Matt Griffin. That's your top 10. Charles Rollo, that'll be your top 10.
Oh, yeah.
You're getting a bit of a traffic jam down at turn 7 now. You can see Paul Verright and Shane Parsons. I think it's Verright behind the wheel of the little CRX at the moment. And then we've got right in behind him, it's Blair McDonald in the Super Tourer. A little bit further back, and I can see currently our 4th place man Dean Perkins coming across the line now in the Falcon, but I think that position seven minutes. We're just on 7 minutes left to run, and then we will have the first, second, and third place getters will form up on the front row as the team from Fast Files will run down and get some photos and some interviews with them, and then we will have the 3-hour cars will form up on the grid. So that's what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes, quarter of an hour. but we are now have 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to run in this race. Top 10, Matt Whitaker, Chris Henderson, Ian Hare, Dean Perkins, Tim James, Graham Fraser, Rick Cooper, John DeVeth, and Nick Archibald and Matt Griffin. So Matt Griffin done a fantastic job considering he started around about 20th odd position and he's fought his way all the way up there into 10th position. He's doing a great job in the Mortimer Motorsport BMW M3 GTR V8. As we look for, there he is going past us on the start-finish straight now.
Live one. Three, can you find anything going on, breakdowns, anything convincing?
Oh, Bruce Kett has another off at the carousel. The big Ford Falcon just goes straight across the grass and back on the track. Bruce has spent a lot of time on that grass there this afternoon. And as... See, we've got Rob Bergeron will be behind the wheel now of the F430 Ferrari. Going a little bit quicker than Jeff was earlier on.
Thanks, three. Maybe go up to the tower for the checkered flag to camera three. So if you go up in the tower, ask them and ask if you can be there for the checkered flag. Roger. Still low 4, going to cut to 1. Cutting to 1 now.
Okay, so we're down to 4 minutes, 25 seconds. So it's around about 2.5 laps, 3 laps left in the race I'm picking. Just trying to pick out where our leader is sitting on the road at the moment. He must, I think he's coming down the long straightaway now, heading towards the carousel. See the lights ablaze there on that beautiful 991. There's a whole gaggle of Porsches there, and Tim James, look at that, we've got 1, 2, 3 Porsches and a Ford Falcon. When do you see 3 GT3 Porsches and an XD Ford Falcon all racing together? And look at the Falcon just lights up and blasts past them down the short straightaway. Into the hairpin they go, and the Porsche just takes the position back again under brakes. So that was just a bit of racing between Tim James and Dean Perkins. And that is for position. You can see the big Falcon now wagging its tail all over the track. Tim James has got past him now.
Camera 1, you're live.
And over through turn 5 goes the Porsche and the Falcon. And see Graham Fraser on screen at the moment in the little... he's currently running in...
Get behind so you can see the cars coming down the straight.
He's currently running in 6th position. Oh, look at that. And Blair McDonald off in the Super Tourer. Does a great job of holding it though and slides it back on. He comes in behind DeVeth in his Super Tourer. Oh, I tell you what, he's having a devil's own job getting that thing back on the track. Now he's back on. So it's...
Maybe you need to... Is there a place you can get to down the stairs? Okay, scratch that then. Just find us here
We're waiting now for 2 minutes, 23 seconds. Just trying to pick where our lead car is now. Here he comes across the start-finish line. So he'll get one more lap. Also there'll be 1 plus this one. There goes Perkins past us in the big Falcon.
We are live on 1. Follow the Falcon, please. The red car, follow it. No, please, follow.
The big Falcon now heads...
4. No, 3.
Okay, now we've got the...
Go through the window where you were before, looking down the track so you can see everything.
you see our lead car now going through the turn 7 hairpin. And
Because you
just watching the 991 now as he heads up through past the clubhouse. And we're looking at some of them coming down. A few of all the lights are ablaze now. All people trying to get position away from it. Look at this, a little train of all the Toyota 86s together. Look at this, all 4 of them lined up in a row. And there's young Ben McDonald at the front of them in the McDonald Halligan Motors sponsored car. And all 4 Toyota 86s. I said those guys would get together. This is going to be a great scrap to the finish, these guys. Forget about the lead. There's nothing going to change up the front. Let's keep an eye on these 4 here because they're having some fun. And you've got car number 22 in there, and he's chasing down young Ben McDonald. And look at this, the pass is on. Up into turn 4 they go. McDonald on the inside, the 22 car on the outside, heading down into turn 5. McDonald, he's given it up. He opened the door and let him through. So I told you there'd be fireworks there with those 86s towards the end of the race. They've dropped up the other one now, heading down towards the turn 7. We're looking for our lead car. He will be coming. Where's he coming now? There'll be. That's it. We're now at 0 time. There's our lead car going down, and this is the last lap, folks. So there'll be the checkered flag will be coming out this time round as you're watching our lead car now head up out of the turn 8, heading towards turn 9 now. He's going to go around past the club rooms, and nothing's going to change anywhere else on the track. There's no other positions, although Tim James said his fastest lap on that last lap. Here comes our second place man across the start finish line now, Chris Henderson, all the way from Dunedin in the little Toyota AE86. I don't know what's got on the bonnet, but it's pretty damn powerful to be up there chasing 991 Porsches and being in front of 997s. Here he comes now down into, no, that's Ian Hare. He's looking for our lead car now. He's coming down into the carousel now. This will be the last lap of the race as they come into the front straight and across the start finish stripe he comes, and there he goes, folks. Checkered flag to Matty Whitaker. That's, I think that's 3 years in a row he might have done that. So and that car, and great driver, great car. Second position in the race will go to Chris Henderson. He's somewhere out on track. We've got to find him now. We're going to pick him up shortly. He will be at the top end of the track. There's
Follow the winning car, please.
Dean Perkins comes across the line. There's the right on the line. Look at this, Devet and Cooper, but Cooper got that one. So Cooper took the 6th position from Devet in 7th. So that was right on the money on the line. I'm just trying to pick where our second place man is. He's got to be coming into view soon. And Ian Hare will take out 3rd. Ian Hare's gone across the line already. So here comes our second place man now through the carousel. Here he is now, and as he comes down here, and it's with Chris Henderson from South Island in the Toyota 86 will take the checkered flag for second place. Well, that's it, folks. That was the first race of the ENEOS North Island Endurance Series, the 1 hour. We're going to be back for the 3 hour a little bit later on. So that was cool. And here comes Barry Kirkbanand to take out 10th position, well deserved to Barry. So we're now going to have the presence of the 1st, 2nd and 3rd place getters will form up on the line. Then we're going to have the 3 hour cars out on the grid for the photo shoot, and we'll be back a little bit later on with the start of the 3 hour race.
white ones now.
Karen, you're going to try and get to it in 3 hours.
Geez, that was a race and a half.
Like you too, so.
Good job.
The old girl does it again.
How am I going to get 80 here?
Is it there or not?
Yeah, there's way over there.
We just get you to do the sign for us. Yep, we've lost Matt. It's really organised this.
Organised chaos.
Sorry, Matt, can we just get you in the shot?
Sure.
Ian, if we can give you a push, can you sit down by the one there?
Yep.
When that's pushed back, stand next to it.
Hey Matt, congratulations on your win here today. Obviously, slightly treacherous conditions out there at times. How did it go for you?
It was pretty wet at the start. It dried off a bit, but it was yeah, it was pretty smooth sailing really. Not too many issues. Getting through back markers is always fun and tricky. So no incidences, which is good.
Yeah. I mean, you're our current New Zealand champion. I'm sure there's not many people here that would be surprised to see you at the front here. So congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
what are your plans for the rest of the season?
Well, the Hampton 1 hour, then the Pukekohe 1 hour, whichever way it goes round, and then you'll see what happens from there.
So congratulations again from all of us here.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you at Hampton Downs.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers. I've got Chris. I've got Chris. Congratulations, Chris, on such a lovely day here in Taupo. You managed to keep out of trouble there.
Yeah, I've travelled like 24 hours from the South Island to come up here for warm weather, and you do this to me.
But to be fair, have you seen the weather at Highlands? It's under snow.
Yeah, hey, we were there last actually. Yes, we raced there like 4 weeks ago. It was beautiful. Yeah, they tell me back home I've got a wee bit of weather to go back to. But no, good day, really enjoyed it. The weather just sort of made it a bit more challenging actually. So a bit of an equaliser, and yeah, the wee car did its job. And, yeah, the rose between two thorns, so we roll between two Porsches.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we had someone here to split the Porsches, and obviously being second to Matt's never a bad thing here.
Yeah, well, I haven't driven this car here. We've done a lot in the South Island with it, and we normally give a Porsche a hurry up on a good day, but I think you hit our measure today. We lost our window wiper halfway in, so...
Yeah, that makes it tricky in these conditions.
Yeah, it was lucky enough with a couple of high-speed straights. It was just enough to clear it, so we're driving by Braille a wee bit, but no, really good result. Pleased for the guys who put some work in. You know, we only decided 2 weeks ago we're going to come here, so it was a quick bit of a bolt check and replace some bits and on our way.
Excellent. Well, congratulations again, and we look forward to seeing you at the next round.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
You're dying. How's a broken leg? See what happens when you...
No, that's good. That's fine.
Couldn't race last year.
Yeah, and we're here with our third place winner, Ian. Congratulations.
Yeah, hi, thanks. No, it's good to be here. We had a little bit of trouble in the first few laps. Had a bit of a spin, so we had to do a lot of work to come from near the back. So pretty happy to come on third. Yeah.
Great, well, congratulations. And obviously with the weather as it was today, how did you find it out there?
First few laps were really hard, and then the car got better and better.
Yeah.
I mean, got to thank the team. The car's amazing. Would have been really nice to have a fine day, and then we could really show what it could do. But no, we got it to the end, and third is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really pleased with that.
Well, to be thankful you were in the car. We've been outside.
I was getting wet in the car. I don't know, there's water getting in the car somehow, but yeah.
Excellent, good to hear.
Yes, I was getting wet too, don't worry.
Great, and you'll be doing the rest of the series. We look forward to seeing you at Hampton Downs.
Definitely, yes. No, we've got to catch up with Matt. He's the target.
Yes, the
Course.
target on his back now.
Yeah, so don't worry, we'll hopefully Australia and
We'll
we
rein
can have
him
another
in.
good run. Yeah,
Excellent. Well, congratulations again, and we look forward to catching up with you soon.
yeah, cheers. Thanks.
Take
for that.
care. Do I look like it? How did he go? In his class?
No, we don't know yet.
Oh, yeah, go. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Top 3 hopefully.
It looked like he's going well. Oh,
Fucking cold, mate.
Is it?
Oh, a little bit.
Is it? Harden up.
Come and rub something.
Yep, no one down here on the grid nose either. So. Just started raining again.
Cold?
Yeah, it's definitely.
Oh, it's cold, isn't it? It's never been this cold.
Makes it worse though.
No, I think it's be like this all morning just to keep warm.
You need a coat.
Take it off for this.
Wouldn't want to try eating wontons right now.